The following portion of Daytime is sponsored by United Way Suncoast.
It is tax time again, and it's very important to understand that each person's tax filing situation is different. For many people, special considerations may apply. For example, if you're a military family or a person with disabilities. Back with us today is Cara Moore from United Way Suncoast, and joining her is Marlene Ware, who works with members of the military. Thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you.
Cara, let's go over again the services that United Way provides.
Well, United Way provides free tax filing assistance to families who made less than $57,000 last year. We have sites that are conveniently located in Hillsborough, Pinellas, Sarasota, and DeSoto counties, where people can go and volunteers will do their taxes for them absolutely free, or they can access our website, myfreetaxes.com/Tampa, and do it themselves.
Okay, we love the sound of free. Okay, Marlene, let's talk about you. You coordinate a program called Warrior Support, where you talk to military all across the country about their finances. So what should military families know before filing their taxes?
Two specific things.
Okay.
And these are just for Guard and Reserve because their situation is different. If you are in the Guard and Reserve and you've been deployed to a combat zone, you have you don't have to file the same time as everyone else. April 15th is not your time to file. You have the days prior to April 15th is part of your extension, and 180 days after you return from the combat zone. So if you're deployed January 1st, you've got from January 1st to April 15th as part of that time, and from the combat zone return 180 days. So you've got a large chunk of time. Your wife or husband is also included in that time period, so neither one of you have to file in that time period. The second thing is if you don't normally file for the Earned Income Tax Credit because you're a dual income family, you can use that combat pay if it will help you get an Earned Income Tax Credit. So if you go to EITC Assistant, just Google EIT Assistant, you can go in and you can play with your numbers and see if using your non-tax income will help you get money for the Earned Income Tax Credit, or if maybe you don't need it.
Good to know. A lot of things out there that are...
A lot out there.
Oh, right. Now, Cara, if someone has a disability, what should they expect? And there are special provisions made for them as well?
There are actually, and if you are a taxpayer with a disability, the first thing to know is that you are entitled to equal access in getting your taxes done anywhere you go, and entitled to ask for accommodations if you need them at those tax sites. And you should also be aware that there may be certain tax laws that apply to you if you have certain types of disabilities. For example, the standard deduction amount is higher for someone who is considered legally blind. There also is a tax credit called the Credit for the Elderly and the Disabled that may apply as well. Plus, for example, you could claim certain medical expenses related to a disability if you itemize your deductions, among other things.
So keep all those receipts.
Exactly.
Right? Okay. Now, identity theft. It's an increasing problem, especially here in Tampa. What are you advising people to do about that?
We just want people to be aware of who they're sharing their personal information with, especially Social Security numbers. If someone asks you for a Social Security number, whether it's a healthcare provider, a store, a business of some kind, don't be afraid to ask them why they need it and how they're going to use it. Don't carry that Social Security card with you unless you absolutely need to. Of course, you do need it when you file your taxes. But be aware of where that information is going, and also be aware if you receive emails from companies that claim to be people you do business with that may be just phishing for that personal information.
Right. Usually it's just the last four numbers they want. If they're asking for all of them, that's kind of a red flag. And finally, if you've already been a member or a victim of identity theft, what should you do?
If, for example, you have filed a tax return and then get a notice from the IRS that someone has already filed a return using your Social Security number, the IRS has a page set up on their website specifically for identity theft. They have a special hotline and they have a fraud form you can fill out.
Okay. Ladies, thank you very much. Very good information.
Thank you.
And all the info is on your screen right now to find out more about this, or log on to daytimeonline.tv and take advantage of this service. Daytime will be right back.
The preceding portion of Daytime was sponsored by United Way Suncoast.